Hey everyone, you're watching the channel that nobody watches, the Punk Hiro Show, and I'm your host, as always, unfortunately for you, Punk Hiro, and welcome to Strange Cinema. Let's get started. Welcome back to the show, everybody, and welcome back to Strange Cinema. Now, Strange Cinema is the show where I examine strange films, usually horror films, but these films will all have one thing in common. They are completely batshit crazy. And today, on Criterion, I am going to be reviewing and talking about 2015's The Lure. Before we break into the case, let's look at the trailer.
Wyciągnijcie nas, nie bójcie się, przecież was nie zjemy. Wyjemy, 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 wyjemy.
A to jest lokal nocny z napojami wysokoalkoholowymi i tańcem.
Właściwie to są dzieci mojej dobrej znajomej.
Będą robiły u nas chórki i striptizy.
Musicie się tylko dobrze bawić, reszta pójdzie sama.
Dobry wieczór bardzo szanownemu państwu. Przed państwem córki dancingu. Dwóch syrenek.
Przyszłam do miasta, chciałam pokazać się z najlepszej strony. Zmienić coś, zmienić, zwrócić uwagę, zwróciłam wszystko. Szum, szum, szum samochodów i ulic, zawrót głowy, zostajemy, nie ma mowy. Szum, szum, szum samochodów i ulic, zawrót głowy, zostajemy, nie ma mowy. To miasto wyjaśni, czego nam jest brak.
Chodź, muszę coś powiedzieć. Oszalałem.
Alright, before we get down to business, I just want to remind all the viewers out there that this video is sponsored by my upcoming film, The Shed, and you can check out the page on Facebook. It's The Shed 2018, and there's going to be a link below and all that crap, so yeah. The Lure. The Criterion version was released back in 2017, just last year, 2017. I've really never seen a movie jump this quickly to Criterion. I mean, it was just a 2015 movie, and by 2017 it was already on Criterion, so that goes to show you how special this film is. Now, this film is not just any regular film. This thing is a masterpiece, and I don't throw around that term loosely. And I'll tell you why I love this film so much. First off, it is incredibly strange, but it's not strange on purpose. They say there's some elements of comedy in it. They say it's a comedy horror musical. I would say that for the most part, in my opinion, then again, I was reading subtitles, but in my opinion, this film seemed dark, very dark, and very beautiful. It had a very Guillermo del Toro look to it. Even a Dario Argento type look to it also. It had a great color palette. And if you're going to do a film like this, it's really hard for the audience to take it seriously. First off, we're dealing with mermaids. Just let me break back from the very beginning, okay? In the beginning of the film, these two sisters hear a band performing, and they're performing on the beach. And they are a famous band. They perform in a nightclub, and they're just out there and drunk. I believe the band consists of the dad, the young son, and the dad's second wife. I don't think the mother and son are related because they do have a sexual encounter. I could be wrong. Like I said, this is subtitled. So the two mermaids played by these two amazingly beautiful Polish actresses. I think they were both born in like 1990 or something. So they're like 28. So they're legal, if that's what you're worried about. They're legal. They bring the girls to shore, and it doesn't take them long to become part of the family and part of the band. The duo was called The Lore or whatever, and there's this really cool, rad kind of underground strip club that they perform at. So basically, the band members immediately introduced the two girls, one called Golden and one called Silver. I'm not sure if that's really their name in the films. When I looked it up on IMDb, that wasn't the name. But then again, everything is in Polish. This is a Polish film, and it is a musical. But don't let that, please, oh my God, please don't let that stand in your way of watching this movie. This movie is nothing short of a masterpiece. I'm not kidding. It sounds crazy. So when the girls first meet the nightclub owner, they're completely naked. And they don't have butts or reproductive organs or anything like that. So he's kind of freaked out. And then the dad from the band, he's the drummer, he puts some water on them. And when he puts some water on them, they grow tails. Fins. Mermaid tails. This synopsis sounds crazy. And it would take a brilliant director to make this not seem absolutely, completely, utterly ridiculous. And he does it. I don't even know the director's name. I know that this is his directorial debut. I want to learn more about this director. I want to learn more about these actresses because they're going to be, both these girls are going to be huge. One of them is in a new Jack Ryan film or whatever. But if they can like speak English, if they can learn English, they're going to dominate American cinema. I mean, they're both that amazing. I can't believe this film didn't win for Best Foreign Picture. Somehow the director was able to create an environment where you could have this suspension of disbelief. This is really a masterpiece. I'm not throwing that word around. And then you're going to hear me complain about a lot of films that are very strange. Some strange on purpose, some not. I'm sure it's by coincidence that the very first movie I'm talking about is one that I happen to be very passionate about. This film, the cinematography is amazing. One sister is a little bit more moralistic than the other sister. The redhead, she wants to fall in love. She wants to be normal. And Golden is not like Silver at all. She embraces what she is. She loves what she is. And for these creatures and beings to survive, they have to feed on human beings. It just so happens that Silver falls in love with the drummer's son. They're both in their early 20s probably. He tells Silver that he can never really love her because she is a mermaid. She's a fish. So she is hell-bent on becoming human. So she actually has a leg transplant. And she's like, she keeps on telling him, hey, I'm going to have legs. You can live a normal life. Golden is telling Silver, listen, if you cut off your tail and have this transplant, you're going to lose your voice. And what is a mermaid without her voice? And she says that's just a myth. It's a sea story. But it is not a myth. And Silver ends up losing her voice. Now, when the nightclub owner finds out, he gets livid and he tells Silver that Golden is going to go solo. And Golden kind of keeps her loyalty. She's like, fuck that. I'm not doing anything without Silver. You're going to have to forget the whole thing. At the same time, while all this is happening, the guy that Silver fell in love with falls in love with a human. And despite everything she did for him, like have the leg transplant, getting human reproductive organs, things like that, he cheats on her. He cheats on her with a human. But she loves him so much. She loves him so much that she just lets it slide. And Golden is like, listen, you're going to have to kill him. You're going to have to kill him. And once you kill him, you'll be restored to normal. But Silver cannot bring herself to do it. And Golden warns her, if you do not kill him by sunrise, you are going to turn into sea foam. And again, Silver says that is just an old sea story, even though she did lose her voice when she had her tail cut off. So instead of taking the cheating bastard out and killing him like she should have, and remaining immortal and living in the sea and sometimes coming to shore and having fun in places like New York City and things, she just embraces him. She holds him. The reason why she embraces him is, I think, she was over it. She's over the whole mermaid immortality thing, the killing thing. And she just wanted to feel what it was like to be normal, even if it meant death. And Golden is watching Silver embrace this guy, and as they turn around, she in fact turns into sea foam. Golden goes fucking bananas on this guy after seeing Silver laying there. She attacks this guy. She rips his throat out. Blood is jettisoning everywhere out of his jugular. As he's lying there dying, she immediately jumps into the water and goes back to the sea. Alone. Living a lonely life. Because as far as I know, she is the only other living mermaid. So it's kind of a sad story, but it's a beautiful story. This movie was unusual because it was beautifully strange. And a lot of strange movies aren't always beautiful. It wasn't intentionally strange. I love this thing. I love this movie. I give the lore my highest recommendation. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching the show that nobody watches, The Punk Hiro Show. I was your host, unfortunately for you, and thank you for watching Strange Cinema. Until next time, don't go in the water? I don't know. Hit like, subscribe. Check out the shed. It's coming soon.